This short video is about the perfect tense, das Perfekt. It is used to describe a past event that has implications with the present tense and in colloquial conversation. So in conversation in German, you use the perfect tense almost exclusively, with the exception of sein, haben, and modal auxiliaries, which we will see later. And for those, we use the Präteritum, or the simple past. Now, let's look at the formation. To form the perfect tense, we use a helping verb, haben or sein, haben, usually, as well as the past participle, which is usually preceded by prefix ge, and we will see later an example. Verbs like gehen, fahren, fallen, which express a change of position, use sein as the helping verb instead. Sein is used so with verbs of movement as well as verbs that indicate a change of state, and a few of those are given here. All other verbs use haben. When we talk about the past participle, we look at weak verbs and strong verbs. We can look at mixed verbs as well, but mostly we'll talk about schwache Verben and starke Verben. Let's look at this example here of a past participle of a weak verb, which is machen. So you see in red, we place a ge before the stem and put et or t at the end of the stem. So machen becomes gemacht, arbeiten becomes gearbeitet. So let's look at a sentence. The verb formed or used in a sentence. In the middle, in blue, you have the helping verb, haben, as in ich habe gemacht, means I did, or I have made, or have done. Okay, past tense of the perfect tense. Look at these examples. Ich habe das gesagt, I said that. Sie hat gut gespielt, she's played well. Wir haben schwer gearbeitet, we have worked hard. Ich habe nichts gehört, I have not heard anything, I have heard nothing. So here's a list of some weak verbs that you probably know, and they would be used exactly the same way we've just seen. There are, however, some particularities. You will find more and more that verbs have an infix in their past participle. For example, the verb zumachen, which means to close, has a particle which is separable, a trennbare Partikel. Now, the ge is placed in the middle. It is not marked in red here, but you can see it in the sentence. Wir haben die Tür zugemacht. A note in passing to say that the past participle zugemacht is placed at the end of the sentence. If a verb ends in iren, then we don't use ge. There are a few of those, like das hat gut funktioniert. And some verbs have an inseparable prefix. Therefore, we don't use a ge. Was hast du erzählt? Those are a lot of details to remember, and the best way to memorize and remember them is by practicing, really. Let's look at mixed and strong verbs now. The past participles of mixed verbs are gewollt, gekonnt, gewusst, gebracht, gebracht, gemocht, verbrannt, and gerannt. There are a few others. The participles of strong verbs end in en. So instead of t, they end in en, and they are irregular. Let's look at these examples. Gehen uses the helping verb sein, therefore you will say ich bin, and then you add for gehen, gegangen. That's the irregular past participle for gehen, and you only need to know it once. So ich bin gegangen, I have been, or have gone, or I went. It depends on the context. Ich habe geschlafen, I slept. Now, there are many strong verb past participles that you need to remember. Here, for example, you have schlafen, bleiben, sehen, fliegen. Their past participle are geschlafen, geblieben, gesehen, and geflogen. Let's look at these examples. Ich bin eingeschlafen, I fell asleep. Sie hat gut gesprochen, she has spoken well. Wir haben Geld dafür bezahlt. We have paid money for this. You see, the bezahlt doesn't have ge before because there's a prefix already, be. Ich habe meinen Hut gefunden. I have found my hat. Yeah. And here is a list of all the irregular past participles, which you don't need to remember them all, but it's a good idea to have a glimpse at them and start writing them down somewhere that you can review them. But we will definitely practice them in context. The verbs in red are those that use sein as a helping verb, and there's another list right here, and you can pause the video if you want to write these down. So that's a lot to remember. You can review the video, you can rewind it and review it, but you can also do the exercises.